Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, uncles and aunties, let me tell you all something. Football is back. You don't understand. This the moment every football fan's been waiting on since the confetti fell at the Super Bowl back in February. All them months of no pads popping, no coaches hollering, no Sunday rituals with chicken wings and nachos. Over tonight in Canton, Ohio, at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, we back at it again. Now look, Skip would be sitting right next to me saying, "Shannon, it's just pre-season." And I'd say, "Skip, it's just pre-season. This, the Hall of Fame game. This, the ceremonial first pitch of the NFL season. This, the NFL saying, baby, I'm home." And the matchup, the Detroit Lions, who've been on the come-up the last few years, hitting folks in the mouth with that Dan Campbell grit against the Los Angeles Chargers, a team with a brand new direction, trying to show they can shake off that old label of talented but can't finish. The game tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. NBC, Peacock. Now, don't expect to see no Justin Herbert throwing 40-yard bombs. Don't expect to see Amon-Ra St. Brown dancing in the end zone. Nah. This about the grinder, the bubble guys, the players who dreamt their whole life of putting on an NFL jersey. And tonight, in front of the whole country, they gon' get they shot. So, sit back, grab your popcorn, and let UNC walk you through why this game matters, what to watch for, and what it all means for the 2025 NFL season. Before we even talk X's and O's, you gotta understand what this game represents. The Hall of Fame game ain't about wins and losses. It ain't about the box score. It's about the history. It's about Canton, Ohio, the birthplace of professional football. It's about the legends, the greats, the men who paved the way so guys today could sign $250 million contracts. Every year, this game kicks off the celebration of a new class of Hall of Famers. And let me tell you something, being enshrined in Canton, that's the mountaintop. That's the football church. That's where immortality live. This year's class, man, we talking about some all-timers. Saturday night, gold jackets going on. Busts getting revealed. Tears flowing. And tonight's game is the appetizer. Now look, I've been to Canton plenty of times. I done walked through them halls. You stand in front of them bronze busts, and you feel the weight of history. You see Jerry Rice, Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, and you realize this ain't just a game, it's a legacy. So for these young players running out on the field tonight, for them undrafted rookies, for them guys fighting for a roster spot, this ain't no meaningless preseason game. This is sacred ground. Now let's talk about these Detroit Lions. Man, let me tell you, not too long ago, Detroit was the butt of every football joke. Folks used to say, the Lions, they like that cousin who always promised he'd go and get his life together, but he never do. But Dan Campbell walked in the door, biting kneecaps and changed the whole culture, he said. We ain't gonna be nobody's doormat no more. And you know what? The players bought in. Last couple years, we seen the Lions go from afterthought to contender. Jared Goff revitalized his career. Amon-Ra St. Brown turned into a superstar. That offensive line, maybe the best in football. Defense got dogs like Aiden Hutchinson. Now, do they got something to prove this season? Absolutely. Last year they knocked on the door. This year, they're trying to kick it down. But tonight ain't about Goff or Hutchinson or St. Brown. Tonight about the fourth-string cornerback who gonna be playing special teams in Week 1. Tonight about the undrafted wide receiver from some school you never heard of, trying to make Dan Campbell say, you know what, this kid belongs. You know what, this kid belongs. That's what makes this game beautiful. Now the other side, them Los Angeles Chargers. Let me say this plain. Ain't no team in the league frustrate me more than the Chargers. Talent everywhere, but every year, something go wrong. Injuries, blown leads, bad coaching decisions, you name it. Justin Herbert, that boy can sling it. He got a rocket launcher for an arm. But the knock always been, can the Chargers get over the hump? And now, in 2025, they in a new era, new coaching staff, new philosophies, trying to erase them ghosts of playoff collapses. But just like the Lions, don't expect Herbert or the Stars tonight. This game gonna be about them young wide receivers trying to make a name. Them linebackers hitting folks like it's the last tackle they'll ever make. Them offensive linemen sweating for a chance to be the sixth man in the trenches. And for the Chargers organization, this game symbolic. It's the star of showing the world. We ain't the same old Chargers. Now Skip would jump in here and say, Shannon, why should anybody care about preseason? It don't count. And I'd look at him like, Skip, you ever been broke before? Because when you broke, every dollar count. And for these young men tonight, every snap count. Preseason ain't about the scoreboard. It's about evaluation. It's about opportunity. It's about dreams. Tom Brady, 6th round pick. You think he ain't used preseason to prove himself? Kurt Warner, grocery store stocker turned Super Bowl champ. Preseason gave him the runway. Terrell Davis, my old teammate in Denver, 6th rounder, special teams guy, lit somebody up on a preseason kickoff, and the coaches said, hold on, we might got something here. Next thing you know, Super Bowl MVP. That's what tonight is. Somebody gonna write their story tonight, and 10 years from now, we gonna look back and say, it started in the Hall of Fame game? Let's talk specifics. Lines were room, they deep. But after Amon-Ra and Jamison Williams, spots up for grab. Some kid gonna make a spectacular catch tonight and make the coaches rewind the tape 3 times. Chargers O-line depth, protecting Herbert being the Achilles heel. Tonight, the backup's gonna get tested. Coaches gonna see who tough enough to handle bull rushes. Defensive backs on both sides. This league pass happy now. Teams need corners and safeties like oxygen. That Udfor corner out there tonight, he got a chance to put something on film for all 32 teams. Running backs fighting for carries. Lions got Gibbs, Chargers got Spiller, and some depth. But somebody gonna show they can tote the rock, protect the quarterback, and catch out the backfield. That's what to watch. Not the score, not who win, but who flash, who sees the moment. Now let me paint the picture. Canton, Ohio. Small town, football heartbeat. Tom Benson Stadium ain't the biggest, but the energy, electric. Fans from all 32 teams show up, rocking jerseys, celebrating the start of another season. The Hall of Fame game always feel like a family reunion. Everybody laughing, talking about this year. And even though the Stars ain't playing, don't nobody care. Because football back. You smell the popcorn. You see the fireworks. You hear the crowd cheer when the first kickoff sail through the air. That moment, goosebumps every time. Now I got to give love to the new Hall of Famers. These the men being honored this weekend. And every time I watch the ceremony, I get chills. The speeches, the tears, the thank yous to moms and pops, to high school coaches, to teammates. It reminds you that this game bigger than money, bigger than fame. It's about family, sacrifice, grind. And for the young players suiting up tonight, they look at them legends and say, that's the goal. That's what I want. Now let's zoom out. This game don't crown no champion, but it set the tone. It's the first domino. From here, we gon' roll into 3 more weeks of preseason, then week 1, then 18 weeks of mayhem, then playoffs, then Super Bowl. And for the Chargers and Lions, 2 teams trying to change narratives. This game, a little symbolic. The Lions trying to prove they belong among the elite. The Chargers trying to prove they ain't cursed. Tonight don't answer those questions, but it kickstart the journey. So here's the bottom line, America. Tonight ain't about Herbert, ain't about Goff, ain't about Hutchinson. It's about the dreamers. It's about the guys fighting for a roster spot. It's about the fans who've been counting down days on the calendar. It's about the legends being honored. It's about the game we all love. Football is back, and the UNC couldn't be happier.